Hey, Sandra. Hey, Caroline. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Stacy. What's up, friend? How y'all doing? We got four people in. Well, we got 13, but we got four talking. Hey, Lisa. Oh, my lips are so dry, and I don't have no chapstick, y'all. None. Right here. No Sugarfoot. What's shaking, y'all? Hey, Cynthia. Happy New Year's Eve. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? I keep having strange people knocking at my door today. I don't know what that's about. Hey, Sugar Honey. Hey, Caroline. Welcome. Hey, love of mine. Oh, did you? You got up early, huh? Okay. The state ain't playing. Okay, we're going to give it a couple minutes, then we're going to get to talking because I don't want to be on here long tonight. It's 7 o'clock on a weekday, so. Who else? Anybody else popping I missed? No, I got everybody, right? Hey, Tammy. None. Absolutely none. Love of mine ain't doing nothing for New Year's Eve. Staying right in this house. Has it? All day? Wow. We're supposed to get some rain over the weekend, I think. I think we were supposed to have had some last night, but it must have been during my sleep hours. Hey, Annette. Hey, Lorna. Y'all, you gonna want to come in out these here bushes tonight since we talking about this movie. Get up out here in these streets. Climb out them bushes and get in these internet streets with us tonight. Look, did I show y'all this? Book of questions? No, the question book. Here is book of questions and the question book. So I got a new one. Rain started last night. Oh, in Cali. Wow. Yeah, I'm ready for some cooler weather too, child. I'm ready for it. But and it's coming this weekend. We getting it. The movie got you, huh? I know the movie gets everybody. Ain't it something? Hey, Teresa. Did I miss anybody else? No, I got everybody. All right, y'all. Let's get started. Because I'm gonna leave the video up so people can watch it. Anyway, let me start by saying yes, so meaningful, right? Okay, so let me start by saying this. Hey, Gino. Hey, Joy. Who else? And nobody else? Everybody. Okay, we got everybody else. So let's just start talking with us. And if somebody joins in, they can go back and rewatch the beginning. So let me start by saying there is no right or wrong with this, y'all. Everybody may not agree with this movie because I believe that this movie is going to hit you the way it's supposed to hit you. You see what I'm saying? So we may not agree with everything. Oh, for real? Read the book? Yeah, Sugar Honey read the book too. She said, I ain't watching that movie because I read the book because she said she likes the book. But I heard this is somebody told me that the book, but Sugar Honey didn't say that. She says no, she don't think that. So again, it's perception, right? But so I heard from several people that said that the movie is a condensed version, but in the end, you come to the same conclusion. It's not the exact words or anything, or even the exact characters, but in the end, you come out with the same um kind of understanding. But Sugar Honey said no, she didn't think that. Oh, wait, y'all, I got some on my glasses. So I don't know. Again, I think it's perception. Hey, Thea. A lot more details. Exactly. That's what she was saying. So it's more details so you understand more. So I'm gonna I said I was going to get it on Audible and I didn't because I want to get it for when I'm walking. So yeah, I want to see. But anyway, okay, let's start, y'all, with the beginning. I'm going to let y'all put in here something about, even if it's just one word, something about what you got from it. The book. I mean, not the book, the beginning of the movie. Exactly. So they kind of condense it down. And that's why, like I said, I heard that it was a condensed version. So we'll see. A lot was left out of the movie. That's what I gotta get that book. I gotta listen to it. I gotta listen. I'm not gonna, I'll listen while I walk, while I exercise. How many hours is it? Is the Audible? Does anybody know? Hey Ann, welcome. That's okay. We're just getting started. So right now, what I was saying is I wanted to see where everybody had got. Exactly, because the movie, you only have a certain amount of minutes in there that you can tell the whole book from. You know what I mean? So, hey, Tarsha, what's up, friend? Exactly. You said it right, Sonia. Exactly. The funny thing is, you know what, Tammy? Listen to this. Now, again, we're speaking about the movie today because I have not read the book yet. We can come back and talk about the book when we all read the book. Okay. But now listen, child. This is what I got. When he was younger, right? He again had the church. He knew God because his father was a deacon, but he didn't feel, God. He didn't know. You get to know God in a way. He was too young to experience what God really is. And God isn't always going to protect us from horrible things. He's not always going to do that. And a lot of people run around talking about my God will protect me. He sure will. In his way, he'll carry you all the way through the trouble, the torment, the fire. He'll carry you through it. But some things we have to experience in life, one for ourselves, or maybe we're being used for somebody else's experience. You see what I'm saying? So the movie is called The Shack, Gino. It's called The Shack. So I say that to say his experiences as a kid look torturous to us. But to God, God had to let things happen because, like, you realize God doesn't make all the negatives. He just got to come in and fix it. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes we need to be used for things that need to happen in our lives. And so because his father was abused, he abused, and the son was able to break that abuse. You see, the man, Mac, he was able to break the lineage of that abuse, where it all came from, and he didn't realize it, but that was God, right? So then, exactly, exactly. So he didn't realize at the end, I mean, in the beginning, what God was working in his life. He didn't realize it. It was pain, it was torture. How many of us have been there through all different kinds of things? People go through horrible things on a daily basis. And it's not always God who starts up the thing. Little evil can come in, and treachery is going to come in and mess something up. And then because of the decisions we make, like we talked about before, and the path if I miss you guys, hey Lorna, hey Carol. Yes, exactly. He had to go through everything he got through, even losing his child, to learn forgiveness. Because he said did you hear when he said, is it because of what I did that I had to lose my daughter? A lot of people didn't get what he did. A lot of people didn't realize it. But he killed his father because his father kept beating him and his mother. So he killed his father. So in the end, when it came all down to him learning about forgiveness, he had to go through all of that to be able to forgive himself, one, his father, and then the person that did this to his child. But that person, that was something in his life that he experienced to experience it more. The more hurt you take in, and when you bury it and you bury yourself with hate, Love don't fit no more. It's only a certain amount. I got this on my thing because I got them little flies from this that I've been trying to get rid of, and it's still two in here that I saw. So I was like, I'm covering my glass. But it's only a certain amount of liquid a cup could hold, right? After you get 16-ounce glass and you put 16 ounces in it, I don't care what it is, you could put 16 ounces of butter in there. You ain't fitting no more water in there. You see what I'm saying? So when you're bogged up with hate like that, you can't experience nothing until it breaks you. You got to break and then throw it up, get it out of you, and then you'll have a space to put the love again, you know? Yep. So now here's the thing. People think that forgiveness, yes, God is love. Love is our, y'all. All right. Remember, I started to read y'all something the other night and I was like, no, I'm not going to read it. I wrote this 11/14/21, right? And you know, I had been working on writing this book. And so during my meditation, now I didn't see the movie till last Friday night or Saturday night. But I'm actually, this was something I meditated on. I wanted to focus completely on what our purpose was and like the power that we have and what it is that we're here for, right? So yes, exactly. Okay. And it was so many points I want to bring up, but y'all know I can't understand my handwriting when I'm writing real fast, right? So it says, I wrote this as the God-given power. At conception, creation, God, the creator, you can call him whatever you want. So I have slashes, right? Instills the God-given power into each and every being on earth. So being, remember, into each and every being on earth, not just humans. So we got animals out here, we got plants. And so again, at conception / creation, God / the creator instills the God-given power into each and every being on earth. That took me out. Because again, this stuff is stuff I take right out of meditation and I just start writing it down as soon as I come out of meditation. Because think about it, how dogs have that pet compassion, how dogs will love you regardless of the situation. You could do whatever you want to do. A dog is going to love you and protect you. They have that in them, right? Plants bloom gorgeous to only bring medicines for us and food for us, all kinds of stuff. So trees bloom to shade us. You know what I mean? All compassion, right? All love. So even that grass that gets on your nerves in the summertime. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to be reading, y'all. I'm going to be reading this and just a little bit, and then I'm going to get back into this. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Okay, so, let me see. Every being on this power can and will get us anything our hearts desire, healing ourselves and others, right? Money, love, abundance, peace, joy, you name it, it can be you. You can have it. The more love you spread, the more your power / light shines, and you attract all of the desires magnetically. So when you say, I don't have the money to help the homeless people, when you pour love into your life, pour pure love and fill that 16-ounce cup inside of you with love and get rid of all the hate, and you forgive and you do all of that, and then you work at it and you figure out and you make calls. What it's saying is you can attract anything in the name of love. You can attract it. You need a home because you don't have a home, and you can attract that. So I got that part right. Okay. The more you spread love, the more power / light shines, and you attract all the desires magnetically. God's work is love in many ways. Love is our purpose, right? I wrote this on November 14th, y'all. Okay, your God-given power will provide you with all that you need to do God's work. So you help, provide, communicate, love, feed, and smile. And then if I put on here, God calls us into service with all the tools we need to answer prayer. With a pure heart, do God's work and have faith in the power that God gives you, and you will be successful. You will successfully complete each mission. You will soon see your power as money, and that you can call a thing and it will manifest. Stop calling on God and know that God has already equipped you with everything you need to handle every possible situation on earth. We are prepared. God's blessings are already ours. We must manifest them, and we can something. And we can only manifest them with love. That's what I got out of a meditation. So I say, put that now, turn that into the story. Until they cleaned that fool out of all that hate he had, not fool, Mac. Let me stop. He was never going to be able to attract anything. Exactly. So, but the only way you don't is say you got one half of the magnet is ready, and that's God's blessings, right? And God's power. The other half, that magnet done fell because we don't have the faith in that magnet. We don't know it's there. We're so full of hate that we are just focusing on negative, and the magnet is flipped to the negative side. Nothing's going to stick to it. So until you prepare your mind, body, and soul to be a magnet right there, everything will start connecting to you. You see what I'm saying? And it's not only things, but again, love, right? And blessings. Okay. So now, exactly. That's what exactly is what the movie was about. And he could not understand that. Like most of us. Okay. My son was murdered. Okay. And again, this helped. That's why when I told you I was crying, like, oh, I got it. Because you don't have to forgive them and then take them a cake to prison and say, oh, give me a hug. You don't. You just have to forgive it to get it out of your body. Not let it. That I don't have that fool. The guy who killed my son, he don't have the playground in my head no more. He don't have it. He used to play in there every day and mess my whole life up. But no, I don't think of him unless there's something for me to think of him for. You see, nothing. I don't think about it at all. You know what? Whatever your name is, we ain't in the mood for you. Child, that ain't even normal. That name, I don't know what that is. Exactly. But the thing is, we mistake like giving this to God. Okay, I'm just gonna give it to God. Okay, when we go back to the word surrender, what is surrender? Surrender is you've done everything you can do, right? And then when you get to the point where you're stuck at something, and then you release it, the connection to fixing it, right? When you release the connection to fixing a thing, it could be your lamp is broke and you've tried everything you could, and you're a lamp fixer. That's your profession. You're a lamp fixer, whatever they're called. And you can't fix this one lamp. Now I'm using this as I'm using this as a metaphor. Probably the lamp is a body, human body, right? And mind and soul. So you leave it, you relax, you take your hands off of it, you walk away and you say, I believe in my ability to fix that lamp. I know that it's not a lamp out here I can't fix. I need to just go and focus on something else. And then eventually fixing you'll be like, remember that red wire? In your mind, you'll be like, oh man, the red wire. It was the red wire I needed to change. And you go back the next day and you could fix it. You had the power the whole time. But because you were so bogged up inside with why you couldn't fix it. You couldn't figure it out. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. So that's what surrender means, y'all. It don't mean God's rolling down the pearly stairs and he's coming down and he's coming through the pearly gates and the marble stairs are coming down out of heaven and he's coming and be like, you couldn't get it? Stand by. I got you. Okay. That doesn't mean that. However, what I did get, yes, exactly. However, what I did get, if I'm missing you guys when you're coming on, I'm saying hi. We're talking about the movie. What I did get out of that though, is that God comes in many forms. God will come to you in a comforting way to allow you to know that it's God. Okay. Now, remember the beginning of the movie when the lady, what is her name? With the O. I'm calling her O. It's not Olivia. It's something else. Well, her real name, I mean. So when he got to heaven, and the funny thing is, when Jesus came walking, I was like, look at Jesus. I didn't even know that that's what it was supposed to be. I start calling him Jesus. You know what? I am so not dealing with you now. Why are you? We're talking about God, and you coming in here with that. But see, look at Satan. Not today, Satan. Not today, darling. Mm-mm. Oh no. Oh, somebody already got him. Not today. So, but okay, Octavia. I knew it. Okay. So in the beginning, he had gotten his beat, he had been beat, his dad beat him black and blue. He's walking down the street. She calls him in to eat or have something, dessert or something. And he says, no, thank you. She says, that wasn't a question. Get over here. Right. So then they flip to, they're sitting on the step, they're talking. She shows such compassion towards his pain, but she doesn't apologize for it. She just says, he shouldn't have did that to you. That's not right. And she said, you should tell somebody, go to the church and tell somebody. But look what he did when he goes to the church. He goes to the pastor because his father was a deacon. The pastor then goes straight to the deacon and tells him what the son said about him drinking and beating them. He then beats him again, horribly, right? So anyway, when he walks through the transition into heaven, when it went from snow to the most beautiful spring you ever seen, they show up at, guess where? Does anybody know where they showed up at? What house that was? Did anybody pay that any attention? Yes, that transition. Does anybody know what that place was? Yeah, that was deep. That was touching. Because I was like, whoa, they look like they walked into heaven. It's not the shack. It wasn't the shack. The shack was where he was. His childhood home. It was his childhood home. And remember, she said, I had to take you back to where it started. And she came as God in the image of somebody that he trusted and that he felt that compassion from. Everybody else in his life, the pastor told everybody else, the dad beat him, the mom was weak. She just let the dad beat everybody. It was what it was. The person who had strength and compassion is who came back and was there for him and presented themselves. That's who God presented himself as. You see, when God says, I am whatever you need at that time. Now, fast forward to the end, when God was the Indian man, he said, I knew you was going to need a father today. So I had to come as, in this form. You see? So I say that, I was just saying this last week. Remember that God is. I am. Yeah. You need me to be that. I'm that. You need me to be that rock, that boulder that's on somebody. I'll be that. I'll help you move me off. Exactly. But the thing is, what you mean with him killing his father? Yep. Yes, indeed. He came at, God presented himself as Mac needed him to present himself at the time so he could get the trust and he can have that, understanding and comfort with him. Exactly. Yep. So what happened was, what I get out of this a lot is, again, we go back to the decision making, right? That, we come here on this earth as with free will agents. Okay. We can make decisions. We can choose to do right or wrong, good or bad, dark or light, good and evil. We can make a choice to do that. And although I believe our lives are scripted in a way, not many go down that script without gearing off and making it back at some time in their life. Not many do that of us. You know what I mean? We all have to fall off and make a mistake. And it's a learning experience. May it be a big one or a horribly hard one. Right? Yep, free will. We all have it. And so what I do believe is that God was like, look, we all make bad decisions. We all fall off of what I wanted for you. But I have to get in, and that's when I do my work to get you back to the road to your destination. You see, that's when God says, I won't walk away. I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. That's when, because I'm getting you back to where you need to be. This is your journey. If God was going to live our lives, we would all be in a perfect world. If God was in control of nothing negative ever happening in our lives, we would be in a perfect world. We're not. This world wasn't ever meant to be that, you know? Now, if you believe the Adam and Eve story, or if you believe just this is what was created by God, or whatever, it's for us to have free will and be able to go and leave. I could today decide I'm going to be a bank robber. Do you think God wants me to do that? No, it's my decision to veer off. But I could see God putting lots of things in my life to make me go back to the straight and narrow. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Because that's what he was exactly. But he did trust his mother, but he came. But again, why do you think that God didn't come in the form of his mother, as opposed to Octavia slash the woman in the movie? Because he didn't have that connection with he loved his mother truly, but he didn't see her as as a strong protector, where he saw this neighbor as a stronger protector. You see what I'm saying? What was going to God will come in a way, because it was no reason for that woman to be in that movie if it wasn't somebody he had, and they showed us he came in contact with her. He had contact with her. Yep. Hey Elon, did I say his name right? Hey Elon. Elian. Hey Elian. Can we call him Eli? Eli, do you mind if we call you Eli's baby? Yep. Yes, indeed. You have the choice to do that. I could decide I am going to rob 3 banks in the next week. And that is not in God's plan for me. I promise you that. But it was my free will and my way to, my choices that I'm choosing to make that's going to put me there. So, and if we didn't have good and evil in this world, so if we didn't have the bad things that happen, what's the sense in having free will? What's the sense in having a choice? Because you're just going to walk down that road and you're going to be like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be at the butcher Thursday at 3 o'clock. It's on my road. I better be at the butcher Thursday at 3 o'clock, So, hey, Anita. Hey, Giggsy. We're talking about the movie The Shack. It's on Netflix. It's on Amazon. Amazon, you had to pay. I'm sorry, y'all. I looked at it, and you did have that. I think it was like $3.99 or something. Yes, when wisdom came, yes, indeed. And you know what? It was funny because that part of the spiritual world, or like it didn't say wisdom was God, but I do believe that it was a form of God. That was what I got out of it. But I say that to say there wasn't no compassion there in the beginning. It was you gonna get this lesson. I'm gonna give it to you, like what you did. He's like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, like like you did. You killed somebody too, buddy, and I still love you. And so I say that to say that movie took me out, y'all. I am gonna read that book. I am gonna read that. Was it another part that somebody wanted to Yep. And you see, he could not do it. He could not pick. He couldn't choose between his children. So what do you expect God to do? God can't say, well, this one's better than that one. We all make mistakes. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yep. That was something. But you see, he couldn't find the body until he said it. He spoke the words, I forgive. And then once you say that, it starts emptying out that glass and you can put love in it, and then everything falls into place. You see? Again, yes. You again, that I seen that too, Anita. I mean, I got out of that too. And so they had Jesus say, I don't want slaves, I want friends, I want family, I don't want slaves. Right? So I said, oh wow. Yep. Exactly. You got that right, Stacy. Say that one again, girl. Yeah. So anyway, it was. Did anybody else have another part that they just didn't get or didn't understand? Maybe somebody can answer it in the comments. Because I mean, I watched it twice. The second time, I got more of an understanding of what it was. I watched it again because I knew we were going to talk about it. Oh, do you remember how when the deer was in the doorway when he was getting ready to commit suicide, right before he went outside and he ran into Jesus. Jesus didn't present himself because he probably would have shot him, right? Even not that he would have killed him, but I'm just saying. They sent a defenseless deer, a beautiful deer, to knock his mind back into sense, right? And so when he saw that, he got up and he walked outside and was like, let me get my head together here. So he goes outside, and that's when Jesus came through. Yep. Oh, you didn't get that, Carol? Yes. Did you see when he was pouring something into the liquor bottle? See, a lot of this, like I said, about is perception, because some things you can miss. That's why I think you need to go back and watch this at least 3 times. Because did you see when he was pouring the whatever that word was, something beginning with T, some kind of chemical into the liquor bottles? Yeah, I'm gonna get that Audible and listen to it. Yeah. So, but the DVD is probably just the same as the movie, but you haven't been able to see it, right, Joy? Oh, okay. Yeah, Joy. I think Joy was having a problem finding it. Yeah, it was some type of a poison. Begins with a T, some kind of chemical, whatever, and poisonous chemical. And then, but again, when he was digging up the yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Oh, let me tell you something. That pain will take you in a dark place. I'm a witness. 3 years of hating everything. I mean, God was just the world's worst in my life. Because God didn't love me. Why did he always put all this stuff in my life and then take my son? Have somebody just take my son, knowing I needed him. Like, who does God think he is? That was, girl, that's the way I thought. I was thinking that. I ain't have no time to be loving nothing or nobody. Don't be calling me, talking about no love. That's how I felt. And that built up in me for a little over 3 years before I went to therapy and got that out of my mind. So it can change you. It really can. But in that point where he put the poison into the thing is when he did. His father drank the alcohol, and that they didn't show it. But if you watch the movie step by step, you realize what happened and how it happened. Because as soon as he did that, they start showing him as an adult, as a father. And that's when all of this goes. And then he flashes back to show what happened with the daughter a year prior. You see? But when they flash him to adulthood, he's actually, the daughter has already been killed and he's outside shoveling snow. The daughter was killed a year before, right? Yeah. He put it in there. And so now when he talks to the father, you see him saying, I forgive you. The father saying, I forgive you. When he said, because, yeah, he killed him. That's why the father was dead. You know what? I swear I ain't in the mood for this crap today. I'm just not. Yep. Yep. There you go. You know it. The words were, everything was there to comfort, like everything that you really believed in God for me, everything that I'm not going to say you, because again, like I said, this is all about perception, this movie. Everything that I believed God was in this movie. And that's why it touched me that much. Yeah, you got to watch it again, because I'm telling you, I watched it for my second time. I picked up way more than the first time. Because I told you the first time it went so so slow. So I kind of missed a little bit. So I had to go back. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes, indeed. I saw that, Stacy. Yep. Yeah, so he got the forgiveness. And I think once he came back and he was talking to them, again, they didn't show the full conversation he had with his wife. But the narrative of his friend, the neighbor, was kind of talking about it and saying he told her everything that happened. And then you see when she was sitting on the chair and the kids was on the bed with him, and she said, I believe you. Yeah, because she had more of a connection with God and what God really was when they even met. He didn't. He hated God. He wasn't into it. He went to church because that's what she did, and all of that. Yep. Yes, indeed. They prepared. She was ready to go. He laid out the blankets and he did the perfect wrap. I mean, that was amazing. And do you see how her body wasn't stiff or anything? Well, I mean, it's a movie and you're not going to get stiff anyway. But I'm just saying the way they actually showed it is that the body was waiting for him to get to so he could actually give the proper holding of her and everything. So again, this was all going on in his mind. This wasn't real life. This was all going on in his mind because that's where God works. God don't work outside of you. He works inside of you. Yep. Yeah, this was something else, y'all. I'm telling you, that movie was everything in my eyes. Everything. And again, I'll probably go back and watch it again, but then I do want to get the Audible because I want to see, they say it's so much more. The movie was condensed down, which it has to be. Because I know that book has to be, even the Audible on it has to be at least 6 hours. Probably more than that. Oh, good, good, good. Okay, you did? Jen's Multiverse? Yep, same way, same exact way. You read it in the Bible the same way, and honestly, that's the way Muslims do the they bury you, but they prepare you with wrappings and all. So a lot of people do, but like when you said it, that harsh religion. Wait, what was it he said to Jesus? And he said, "Oh, get wrath, something about wrath." And oh no, her. He said it to Olivia. I mean, what is her name again? Oh, he said it to her. He said, she said, what? What are you talking about? You wrong person. Wait, she was so funny, especially when he said I was expecting a person with a white beard. And she was like, well, that's Santa Claus. She was like, that's Santa Claus. That ain't me. And then he said, I don't know wrath. Where you get that from? I said, Lord. It was really good. Okay, yeah, I'm getting it. I might order it tonight. And listen, while I'm doing some things, I got to do baseboards and stuff in here tonight. The Jewish faith. Okay. But yeah, so I just thought that was so touching. And oh my God, that movie, I would recommend it to anybody. I know a lot of things she was saying. Hold up. How about when he came back off of his long journey and she was on the porch with her head laid back like this with her shades on? And he said, God has time to catch the rays, right? And she was like, you have no idea how much work I'm doing right now. So, oh my God, that was so funny. Yep. Yes, indeed. Oh, it was so good. When I tell you it was good. Yeah, they were dancing and having fun and just so much joy, It was just so much joy. What's up, Giggsy? Hey, Marge, I didn't see you pop on. Let me see who else I might have missed while I was running my mouth. Jen, Sandra Smith. I don't know if I spoke to you. I'm sorry. Hey. Yep, everywhere. She, he, it. She, he, it. That's what I believe. She, he, it. I mean, and again, that's my belief. That's always been my belief. God will appear in any situation, in any form, at any time to get the point across, to get, get you to where he needs you to be. I think he is just a pronoun. It's masculine. It's what we've become, used to. But I love the work of the Holy Spirit too. I wanted to talk about that. What's her name? Sarah somebody, Sarah something. Um, so that work when they were preparing the place for the daughter to be buried, when she said it was going to be a big event, in the simplest form, yes, so we can understand that God is really with us. And it's not like you have to go and confess to somebody, or you need to do, you don't, so many ways that we could talk about that again. But other people have their belief that, like Catholics, that you have to go to confession. And again, for them that might be right, but for me that's not the way I see it. Yup, exactly. You got that right. He's not there's nothing complicated about God at all. Hey Selvin, how are you, friend? Cooking up something for us tonight? Yep, you got that right, Tarsha. Tina, I think I just spoke to you. Yeah, it's Sarah something with it got something at the end. Sarah something, he called. Okay, so when she was preparing, and then when she said, be careful, that's poisonous. And she took it. And he said, well, why would it be here then? You know what I mean? Like, why is poison in heaven? And she showed him the balance between the benefits of this flower, medicinal flower, and this thing. This right here could, is something. I forget what she said. But again, you always have that this or that in everything in life, even in heaven, that this or that. You have a choice. Like they gave him a choice to leave. If you want, here, you're going to need your keys, but can you help me with this first? And then as she talked to him, his mind changed, but she didn't change his mind. Right? Oh, okay. You over there. Oh, you throwing down with the recipes, huh? We're talking about a book. I mean, a movie. There's a book to this too, and the book is a little different. So we're actually going to be reading the book. I am anyway. And so I say that we're just talking about the movie. It's called The Shack. We all watched it. Exactly. So again, you have there's a good and a bad. There's a reason for the bad, is what I got out of that. There's always, when there's bad there's a reason for it, because something's going to balance it out and make it to where a lesson that you needed to know, or a benefit to your health, or a benefit to your mental health, or a benefit to something that you can do to fix or use for somebody else. Yes, exactly. Yup. Look at all of these antibiotics. It's horrible, right? But we put them in our mind, and we put them in our body, and when it counteracts the whatever the other bad that's in us that's killing us, it knocks it out. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year. You enjoy yourself. Exactly. You know that, Stacy. Yes, indeed. Me too. And that was a good part. That was a good lesson, because, like, again, it kind of keeps, this movie keeps smacking at you that there's a reason for the good and the bad in life. There is always a reason for it. So when something happens, again, I keep using this. I know I'm missing comment, y'all. I'm trying to catch up. But there's a reason for everything. Okay, again, you're riding down the street on your way home from work. And oh my God, the traffic is crazy. It is crazy. It's holding you up. You should have been home 45 minutes ago. I can't take it. I need to get out of this traffic, but there's nowhere to turn. You're on a strict highway. And you ain't passing no off ramp no time soon. And it's taking you 45 minutes to get home. And by the time you get to the end of it, where you could take your thing 45 minutes later, and you're pissed, you're furious, you're red, you are grabbing the steering wheel so tight, you're cussing and fussing. And there was a major accident that happened, and you would have been involved in it. But God slowed down traffic for you to save you, because he still needed you here, because you ain't complete the mission. Still needed to work with you. So you missed that accident so you could get home 45 minutes late to your family, as opposed to the person who was in the accident, who finished their job and did that work. That person was killed to save you. and the people behind you. I mean, the people behind them. So now y'all could go home to your families and finish what you didn't finish. You see? So there's always a good for good. Like the fact that my son passed away. I have not been able to find the good in that. I haven't. But I say that to say it changed me. It changed me 100%, y'all. It changed me from the person that I was. It changed me. And at first, it took me, like I said, for the first 3.5 years, it took me all the way off to the left. And then God was like, this fool, I can't deal with her no more. I always say this. God was sitting in heaven with Jesus on this side. No, Jesus is always on the right. Jesus on the right and my son on the left. Holy Spirit standing behind him. And he kept saying, look at him. And my son pleading the case. God, please help her. Please help my mom. And he's crying and he's begging God to help. And he's like, Jesus, look at her. This fool. I love her. I'm going to let her make her mistake. I'm going to let her learn from that. And then I'll bring her back. I'll find something to bring her back. Just relax, Jazz. I'll get her. But this fool going to have to stay off on that off-road for a minute. She's going to have to walk through that desert because I already put in front of her what I needed her to know, but she just can't see it because she's too full of hate. But eventually it got me back. I got back to the road and I felt such a relief. I felt so content with the fact that my son was gone. And I did that by saying that was his life, right? Because here we are all born. We come here naked and by ourselves, okay? Except for we got the Holy Spirit with us. However, we come here by ourselves and we won't leave here by ourselves, right? And even if you die with 500 people in a plane, I mean, I put a lot of people in that plane, didn't I? Say 200 people in a plane, right? And y'all have an airplane crash and you all die at the same time. Your spirits are going to travel in the directions they're supposed to. Everybody ain't going to one big old waiting room, and all of a sudden you strip back down to naked like you came in and you worrying about your C-section scar and this and that. And ooh, my boobies ain't as perky as they used to be. And you standing naked in a room with all these people. No, you're going to show up where you need to show up, right? So, all right, let me catch up with y'all. What are my children saying? Yes, it's always good, evil, right, left, good, bad, naughty, nice. You use all of those words and you will see that that's what's here. But together, when you put them together, it balances itself out, right? I truly believe that. Okay, wait. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. God, people have free will to do bad things, just like they have the free will to do good things. That doesn't mean God allows it. What God did was gave us the free will to do these things. And with that, once something's done and you become a victim of something, or even if you are the person that did it, and now you got this hate in your heart, God is still working on you to clear your heart as the person, as the aggressor, or as the person who commits the sin or the violent act or whatever. And then God is also fixing the people who was affected by this tragedy. He's now working in everybody's spirit to fix the spirit that's been broken. But it doesn't make it right or wrong. You know what I mean? All right, let me catch up. Is your mess. You see that? Did you get that? See, Caroline? I got that too. He said, this place is a mess. Why is it such a mess? She said, this is your mess. We're working on you right now. This is your mess. We got to fix this. And it was just a big old maze of, I can't find my way out of here. Think about what's going on in your mind when you're all confused and you're broken down and you feel so horrible and a tragedy has happened. That's your mess. And it could look like it could have been beautiful as a garden, and then it became overgrown and turned into a maze where you can't get out of it. Yes, I saw that was a good point. Yep, there you go. Human beings, man. Human beings are really like amazing to me that he made us human. And we live this life because of our free will. We can make these decisions to be whatever we want. I could turn myself from a woman to a man tomorrow if I wanted to. It's a decision. And now some people, I happen to believe that people don't choose to be gay. We ain't going into that, y'all. We ain't going into that one on this one. I say that to say I don't know who would want to put themselves in that horrible situation where they're being tormented constantly because of a choice. Again, that's God's decision. That God makes that decision. I ain't God. I'm not. Wisdom ain't popping in on me and putting me in the judgment seat. I ain't judging nobody, right or wrong, good or bad. I just ain't doing it. But I say that to say we now in this part of our lives, in this time that we live in right now, can change anything we want to. We can come online and we can be talking to you on this computer and you can see me. Think about us doing that in the 70s, in the 60s, and even the 80s or the 90s. You couldn't do this. So I say that to say it's like yes, indeed, you got that right, Stacy. There's so much more, that we are going to get. Every day that we spend here on earth, remember, it's for us to learn and for us to do and for us to be at service. We're not here just for the heck of it. People don't die just because. I believe people die because they did what they were supposed to do when they came here. They served their purpose. Hey, Susie. Again, that's my belief. Hey, Meditra, how are you, friend? You did watch it? Good. Let me see who else. Wait. Oh, Annette. I'm sorry, Annette. Annette had something going. I didn't see it. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry to hear that. My son was 21, but he was 29 days before his 22nd birthday. Yep. So I know that feeling, friend. Footprints in the sand. That used to be, let me tell you something. My favorite readings, I'll say, because I saw somebody in their house, they had the footprints in the sand, like in framed. Oh my God, this had to be the very early 70s. And I read it some place that we went, or it was at a friend's house or somewhere, I don't remember, but I read it and that stuck with me. And then it was gifted to me when I was 16 by somebody gave it to me framed. So I had that for years, the footprints in the sand. But also my favorite book, the first book I ever read, and my favorite book was Peter Rabbit. It's a message in that too. The Velveteen Rabbit, not Peter Rabbit, the Velveteen Rabbit. Did y'all ever read that and get that message? I got that. I read that book when I was 8 years old. It was something we had to read for my class. And I read it and I understood the message at 8 years old. Yep. Yes, indeed. Okay, let me catch up with y'all because I'm probably missing some stuff and I'm so sorry. Let me see. Yep. It's a freeing of yourself. It is, again, clearing that. And I like to use stuff that people can actually visualize. So I say like a 16-ounce cup in the seat of your soul. And it feels, if it's filled with hate, you don't have enough place to put the love. So you don't have love sitting in the seat of your soul where it should. So that way it opens your senses, your God senses, I call it, your ear, your hearing, your spiritual hearing, scent, smell, taste, and touch. So when you are filled with love, you will be able to touch something and get a vibration from it. You'll be able to hear things without no voice. You see what I'm saying? Like you just know things. Put it that way. Something just pops in your mind. Like I said about the red wire. After you calm down and relax, in the seat of your soul sits love. That it was a red wire. Something will pop in your mind. Like it ain't like somebody named John Smith whispering to you, "Hey, with the red wire." No, it's like all of a sudden you think red wire, and you're like, "The red wire. I didn't think of that. Okay, let me go back and fix it." So I say that to say, once we clear ourselves up from all of that hate or confusion, and a lot of the time it ain't even hate, it's just confused. I don't know where I need to be right now. I am a ball of confusion. This is what the person thinking. They got that garden going on in their head, like the man's garden in the movie. And they're like, what in the heck? Why am I even breathing? Because I can't make a decision. That's confusion in your cup. Again, your cup is full. No love can be filled into it. Try to fill something else into it. You can't. So then God has to break you down like he did at the cave with Mac and have him say, I forgive, to expel all of that out, right? And then all of that cup can immediately, love gets in there. And you see the compassion that came. He was able to find his daughter. He held her. He got back. And all he could do was talk about that compassion to his family. We got idiots on here. I ain't in the mood for y'all. I really ain't. Yep. Yes, indeed. But again, a lot of people I noticed did not pick up when the father looks at him and says, I forgive you. Because he said, Dad, and he said, I forgive you. And so then it took my mind back. Oh, the poison. That's where the dad went. So again, it was a lot of, I'm sure in the book it probably talks about that. But because it's a movie, they couldn't go in depth with everything, like how his mom passed, how his dad passed. I assume the mom probably died from the dad. And that's what made him go get from that last beating. You know, this is, again, we don't know because it's a movie. I want that book so I could see. Hey, Yandel, how are you, friend? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yes. So see, when you start, and like you had to really pay attention to each part of that movie. That's why the second time I watched it, I was able to get more out of it. I didn't get that the first time. You don't have Netflix, Will? Oh my gosh. Oh, you got to see it, Will. You got to see it. Do you have T-Mobile? Does anybody have T-Mobile and they don't know they have free Netflix with T-Mobile? If you have T-Mobile, you have free Netflix. You can rent it on Amazon for $3.99, and I think YouTube was $3.99 too. You do call T-Mobile tomorrow, right? Early. What time is it? You might be able to call them now and say, do I have free T-Mobile? They will give you the code immediately and you sign into Netflix. Because they brought Netflix and they gave it away to everybody. Do you have the Magenta plan? Who don't? Everybody got the Magenta or the Magenta Max. You get it. It comes free. Amazon Prime, you can get it for $3.99. You can get that movie for $3.99. But Netflix, if you have T-Mobile, you get Netflix. I don't pay for Netflix. The thing is, they will pay for the one person on Netflix. Now, if you want to put your family and all that on it, they'll pay the $8.99 plus tax, and you pay the rest. Yeah, check on that and make sure, because then you go straight to it. It's right there. When I tell you this movie is something, it is something. It is an eye opener about life, y'all. It really is. Like it was something for me. Again, I had, as much as I thought that I had let go with the whole situation with my son and all the things that had happened to like kind of get me where I am right now, wound up in Texas and all of this confusion that was going on with me. And I thought I was figuring it out. This movie just said, fool, you done went through all of that. All you need is this. You know what I'm saying? So I would say watch this movie and don't watch it once. Watch it a couple times, because like I said, the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, that's what that meant. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Yeah. So they probably have the I used to have that with my daughter and granddaughter. I made them get their own Netflix. I got mine now by myself, and don't nobody have my code, because I would get on there and my daughter and my granddaughter would be on there and I couldn't watch it. So I had to go to the highest plan. I was paying like $20 a month. Yeah, it's real. I know. Ain't nothing like that. Ain't nothing like having it for free. But yeah, so I'm telling you, I would really recommend that to anybody. But like I said, don't watch it once. And know in the beginning, the first time you watch it is going to be slow starting. It's going to be confusing because they flip-flop times. Like I said, in the beginning, he's that little boy, and then he goes through all of that, and then he visualizes something. You'll see him with his wife, and you're like, huh? Who's the person? Then he's back to being a little boy, and then he's with the lady. And then he goes back, and then all of a sudden he's grown, and he's on the ground, slipped on some ice. And then you're thinking, well, what? And then he goes back a little over a year, while he slipped on the ice so then we could see the whole thing that happened with the daughter. And then he comes back and wakes up off the ice. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So you have to pay attention. Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, wait, wait. And the funny thing is, at the end, you say there's no doubt that he, every now and then, when he's near the water, he stepped on the water just to test it to see if he could do it. That was so funny. Oh, that was so funny. Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, the point, what if you watch that movie, you will understand more. You may never, it's been 15 years, almost 16 years that my son has been gone, right? And again, I don't see the good part of it. I don't understand it. But the only way I could go on with my life was to understand that my oh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna hide that, Annette. But I got that. Okay, Annette said that there was also some child situation. I don't want to put that up just in case Google sees that. But I understand what you're saying. Okay, we got it. All right, just let it stay. Don't take it away. But yeah. So look at Annette's comment there, y'all. Hey, Shirley, how are you? Welcome. So I say that to say, yes, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of abuse with, and if you watched it when the connection came with the father was, when he was in the with wisdom, and she showed him how his father, and she said, "Would you blame that boy right there? Would you blame him? Would you find fault? Would you judge him?" He was like, "He's just a child," and she said, "Yeah, that's your father." That's what he did. He did what he knew how. So that's okay, Marge. You could have left that. I mean, it was already up. But yeah, some words they're not big on. But I know what you mean. And yes, definitely. Yeah, that was your favorite. Okay. Yeah, but I'm telling everybody is going to get out of this movie what you were supposed to get. Everybody will. There won't be a everybody is going to agree on everything. The only thing that I think that everybody could, that's okay, Annette. That's okay. It's just words in the thing that Google looks at. Everybody, that's why they're hidden like that. So you have to be approved in to say certain things. But in the context of what we're talking about, I don't think that that's a bad thing. That's okay. That's okay. Um, in this context, I think Google wouldn't see it as bad. It's not like you're coming in saying horrible thing. We're talking about the movie, and that's what was in the movie. So I think it would have been fine. But yep, yes indeed. So again, I say if you really want to treat with this movie, watch it again and then watch it a third time. Because even though the book they say is supposed to be so much better and have so much more information, from the little bit you get from the movie, I think is enough of a start to actually getting you on the right path of where you need to be and understanding of what our God source is. You know what I mean? And again, everybody's not going to feel that way. This is what I think. I'm not saying I'm right, y'all. I'm just saying that I wholeheartedly believe what I believe, and you should wholeheartedly believe what you believe. What you get out of it is what you're supposed to get out of it. We're not supposed to, everybody's not supposed to get the same thing out of this movie or life. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean I'm 100% right on this. It just means that this is what I got out of it, you know? And I mean, I am telling you, I enjoyed that movie so much. Yeah, it is hard. It's hard. I'm gonna tell y'all, like I said, and when I looked at it this way, and again, it's me, but when I looked at my son being murdered, and I looked at it in a way that this was his time. I started saying that and I veered off. It was his time. Everybody comes and on this earth and they are set with where they're supposed to be and they have their finish line. And once they get to, I don't believe, look how many people commit suicide, attempt suicide, and it doesn't work out for them. And they're still here on earth. And they done took all these pills and they done threw up and they done cut their wrists. Now they got scars and they did this and they shot themselves, but they're running around here still surviving with a hole in their head, right? Because their job wasn't complete and it could not happen. Couldn't happen. If the job was not complete, you wouldn't be able to go nowhere. You would still be here to do what God needed you to do. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, yes, indeed. Yeah. I'm going to get it. I think I'm going to order it tonight. I'm just going to go ahead with the Audible. I didn't want to sign up for Audible again. I was trying to find another way to get it, Audible, so I could have it, but I'm just going to sign up for it. But yeah, I think I'm going to buy that tonight and start on it. So, it's just, when you look at it in a way that, God is in control, and it couldn't and it wasn't us. Here's the thing. Us, especially mothers. I'm not going to say, and fathers too, and sisters and brothers, but that connection when you lose a child, especially to me, like, I don't know. That was just the worst thing you could have did for me. I mean, torture me, but don't take my child. Just like the man felt. You ain't taking my kids to hell. You know what I mean? Not there. No, take me. Don't be putting my kids on. They might have made some mistakes. My son snuck out the house, and my daughter is all confused in her head. But and she believes that she did this to her sister. She caused this for her sister, and all of that. However, take me. Take me. And he even said at one point, am I paying for this because with my daughter's life, because of what I did? That's another key to tell you what happened with his father. So, and they were like, no, it has nothing to do with that. Like, you ain't that important, buddy. But, yeah, but I want the Audible book. I want to get the book. And you got to sign up for Audible. I've searched it to see if I could find it on a different platform where the person is narrating the book. So I don't have to sit and hold the book. I want to listen while I walk. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. But again, I say that like once you get to the point where you're comfortable, it was my mom's death was easier for me. I missed her. I cried because I knew she wasn't going to be, because that was my best. That was my buddy. You know what I mean? And not a day went by that I didn't talk with my mom. You know what I mean? So even through her illness with Alzheimer's and everything, I was more prepared for it. It didn't crush my spirit as much. I found a reason that it happened. One, she was not, her mind wasn't messed up anymore. You know what I mean? She was free of all that. And she was able to walk again. She was able to feed herself again. When this is what I saw in my mind. When my dad passed, I understand he had cancer in his what is this? He had a cancer in his esophagus. Esophageal cancer, esophageal, whatever it is. He had a big tumor that grew so big that not even water could go. He couldn't swallow water. So he starved to death. Book. Right. Oh, okay. Is there where at, Marge? Send me a link if you have one. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that was a story that he told, she said. Yeah, so there had to be some connection for that. But but she was the chosen one. If you look at it this way, and I even hate to look at it this way because my human mind doesn't want to see this, but if you look at the fact that she was the one chosen to bring him to where he needed to be, to let all of that from his past out. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look that up and see. I'm gonna look that movie up and see. The Swan Song. We'll see about that. I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I agree, Sandra, definitely. So then and even when my brother passed, I was able to make more sense of it as opposed to such a devastation that shut me down. Even when my nephew passed away, the way he passed away and how things happened, I was able to make peace with that. And I do believe that my son, because funny thing is, we hadn't had anybody pass close to us in like when my son passed away in 20 some years. But even then, it was my grandparents. They were older. They were expected to die, like they were in the 70s. Like we didn't have nobody died in our family. And so when that happened with my son, it broke everybody, you know what I mean, in the family. And but again, me getting out of that, what I did, every death that has happened, as tragic as it may be, I'm able to find peace with it quick, as opposed to holding on to it and really falling apart because of it. I Am Gabriel. Okay. Where's that? Is that on Netflix too? I do believe it, child. I do believe that, Jatan. It's a good movie. I'll check that out too. So, well, let me write these two down. It's called The Swan something, right? Didn't y'all say? Swan. Hold up. What was it? I Am Gabriel. And wait, I'm trying to find it. Swan Song. Okay. Good night, Sonia. I'm glad you joined us. I'm getting ready to get off here too, y'all. But when I tell you, I was so excited. I'm so excited to see what a lot of you guys thought about it. Because yeah, but you know what, Tina? It's funny you say that. My greatest fear used to be losing my second child, my daughter. She's my oldest. But after my son died, I was sitting on the edge waiting for something to happen, waiting for the phone call. But remember that manifestation and the law of attraction is at work at all times. If you understand that our children are on their path, and take the worry and the fear and the concentration off of something negative happening, you'll better your chances at something not happening. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to do that. When I tell you, I mean, if the phone rang, I'd be like this. And if it was her number, I would be like, oh, hello, what's wrong? I was like that for at least 5 years after my son passed. What's wrong? What happened? And I'm like, and she was like, you are crazy, lady. Nothing happened. I'm just calling you. And I'm telling you, I realized I was putting that focus. Okay, yeah, Amazon Prime. I already had the free, whatchamacallit, entry. I already used that a while ago. So I just got to just sign up and join up. Sign up and join. And I know they do have free books on there, but I don't think The Shack was one of them. Because I did look. Yeah, so remember, manifestation and law of attraction and all of this is all real, and you can fear a thing into reality. You can have that worry and that connection to a thing, and whether it's negative or positive, if you connect with it by giving all your energy to it, you're going to pull it towards you. Yes, you see? Oh, wow. Yep. And I understand that. We'll get her to watch this movie. Go over there with her, right? You know how you always make something with that good food, take it over there and say, Mom, we're going to watch this movie together, right? And see it. But I'm telling you that you don't want to put all your energy into something, because that's just like saying, oh my God, I'm so scared that something's going to happen to my daughter. She goes to work every day on that highway, and there's going to probably be an accident, and she's going to die, and I'm going to have and this and that. That's the same as saying, oh Lord, I hope I can hit that lottery. You know what I'm saying? You are putting the same energy. Energy is energy. It don't have a negative and a positive. It is energy. It is focus. It is come to me. That's what it is, right? Yes. So just be careful. I mean, I understand it's hard, especially when you already lost a child. I understand that fear. Trust me. And I know it. I lived it for a long time. And I'm just taking my hands off of that. Even with Zaya, I worry so much with her being in school and everything. I worry so much about her. But I had to realize that the energy that I'm putting out is not the best energy. And that is a focus on what could negatively happen. I had to change it to what could possibly on the positive side could happen for her. And it's worked, honestly. Although she's sitting up there with COVID, she ain't take the test yet, but she got COVID. Ain't nobody. My daughter is like, you're stuck in your room. And because my daughter just got over it, but Zaya got symptoms. She got symptoms of a cold and her body ache and all of that. Yeah, it is a worry. I know. And if you call your mom, call you and you ain't answer, Will, you could forget it. She coming knocking. Okay. She probably gonna come in there with the key and walk up in there. So it's just best you answer the phone. Because I will. I'd go to my daughter's house, turn that key and be like, where y'all at? Who's in here? I used to do it, y'all. I've been there. Yep. Yes, indeed. You got that right, Stacy. Free Audible on YouTube? You gotta be kidding me. On YouTube, free Audible. Okay, I'll go right on there tonight because that's all I want. See, that's why I didn't want to join Audible because I don't want to join it just to read one book. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't know that. Will, why did I think you was the only child? You got two brothers too? For some reason, I'm thinking Will is the only child. This whole time, I had no idea. I had no idea. Yes, indeed. Yes. And once you lose one, you understand the possibility of you losing a second one. And that's where that worry comes from. But again, until you get in the right headspace, you don't know. Let me not focus on the negative because I'm drawing the negative to me. You don't know that, right? Oh, okay. I get it. So you were raised, baby. That's how my mom was, but she was my grandparents had they were their only marriage, but they had all of their kids were grown by the time my mom was born. My aunt was 21, like they were grown and were having children. My mom, my mom has nieces and nephews the same age as her because my grandmother was like 48 when she got pregnant with my mom. It was one of them, oops. And she was like, Rupert, you made me do that. Now we're having a baby. My mother said that her mother would drop her at kindergarten at Catholic school, and they would say, is that your grandmother? And she would say, no, that's my mother. Right. It was so funny. But my mom was one of them, oops, the change. We thought it was the change of life, but here we got a daughter, another child. So yeah, I know what you mean. Wow, get out of here. Yeah, it's hard. It really is hard. I'm gonna tell you, it's hard. And COVID came in and wiped out the country. So a lot of people now have children that have passed that, or an adult, and family that have passed that you didn't even expect it to happen, and you're now living with this. Oh, get out of here, Marge. Yeah, see, that happened a lot. The change of life, baby. My mom used to say that. My grandmother called her that all the time. This is my change of life, baby. I don't know. We got to come up with some. Okay, so we got two here. I Am Gabriel and Swan Song. Somebody suggested. Anybody else have another one that's something that we're interested in looking at that you think would catch the attention or have some meaning? I don't mean Caddyshack. Even though somebody's probably going to get the masses isn't going to get a message out of Caddyshack. Where did I get that from? Caddyshack. 18. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's how my mom's family was. Hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah, I haven't had anybody. Well, I had friends that passed away from COVID, but not family. No family passed away from COVID, but friends. But I heard that a few people in my family have it in Jersey now. Okay. All right, so we got to get this next movie so we can get off of here because we've been on here for almost an hour and a half. Wow, get out of here. 3 weeks older. Are you kidding me? So a lot of people are like that though. I have friends back and they were my neighbors. We grew up together. Back in Jersey, and their mother had 13 kids, and I'm very close with their mother. And the mother was still having kids with her daughters when her daughters were grown, starting to have their kids. They all have nieces, nephews, and aunts and uncles and everything. Most of them older. Some of the nephews is 10, 12 years older than the youngest uncle. Crazy, man. Hey, Shay. Hey, Miss Faye. How are you, Miss Faye? I ain't seen my DFW neighbor in a minute. Wow, get out of here. Hey, Francie. Yeah, you can rewatch because it was really good. And again, when you rewatch it, guys, make sure you hit the live chat button so you can see what everybody was saying. A lot of people got so many different meanings that came out of this, of the way people felt. Swan song the other day. Oh, it is? Okay, well, let's check that out. Swan song. We got 2 people or 3 people, I think, mentioning they like that. So let's check that out, y'all. Are y'all interested in watching that? Now, where is that at, y'all? So this one is for this week coming, and then we'll probably talk about this next week. We could probably talk about it on Saturday, the live. On a live Saturday. That's the first Saturday in January. Let me see. So if all of us could watch it by then. Let's see, that is going to be January 2022. The first Saturday is the 1st. No, we're not going to do it on the 1st. We're going to do it on the 8th. On the 8th. 1/8/22. We are in 2022, y'all. Who thought that we was going to die after 1999? I did. I was like, ain't no sense in having kids when I was younger because they just going to die anyway. The world's coming to the end. I was an idiot. Apple TV. Oh, I took my Apple TV. It's in my drawer. I could just hook it up. It's only on Apple, y'all. Let me see. I got my phone right here in front of me. Why don't I look it up? Okay, let's see. Where can you get it? I can't stand Apple TV. T-Mobile gave me that free too. And I actually paid for it from Spectrum, but I didn't like the box, so I took it off and put my Roku back. Wait a minute. Let me see. Where can I watch it? It's on YouTube. There's a trailer. Let me see. I'm just gonna put where can I watch it? Why do I always do stuff to 15 years younger than? Wow. I know that's how I'm telling you, my family was that way, y'all. My mom she got nieces and nephews right around her age. All right, wait. Okay, hold up. Apple TV. So I'm gonna have to hook it up. Watch Swan. Streaming on Hulu for free. Free trial. It's on Hulu, y'all. If you have Hulu, I do. So I can watch it. Start your free trial with Swan Song and other popular TV shows and movies, including new releases. I have Hulu already. But if you don't have Hulu, you can sign up, watch the movie, and then say you don't want it. Yup. No, Caroline, you want to watch it so you can join in the conversation with us and understand. That's what this is about. We're having, this is now our movie club. We haven't named it yet. I don't know what we're going to name it, y'all. But y'all come up with some stuff for next week on what we're going to name it. Oh, okay, 10 years apart. Okay. So you did grow up in the house with them then. They were in the house with you. Okay, so it's on Hulu if you want to watch it. Hulu and Apple TV. I do need to hook up my Apple TV, but I'm not fond of Apple TV. I pay for it every month with my cable. And I don't need to pay for it because you get it free for a year from T-Mobile. I still got more time on that since I got it. The iPhone, the last iPhone that I got it with that. You get it for a year. Oh, your boys are 11 years apart. My kids were 3 years apart. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're watching, guys. It's called the Swan Song. It's not the. It's called Swan Song. So we're watching that, and next Saturday on the 8th, um, January 8th at 7:30 regular time, we'll be back to talk about that and see how everybody. I don't even know what it's about. I don't want y'all to tell me. I'm gonna watch it and figure out what it's about. But yeah, this one was so good though. The one that we were on, oh, that was so good. That one was good. Today's movie was called The Shack. So you need to get that and go watch it with your mom, Will. It would be something to watch. Um, or just watch it at home, and then I'm telling you, once you watch it at home, it's something that you can watch several times. It's not like you watch it. It's one of the movies like, nah, I saw that. I don't want to watch it. And then you might want to go watch it with your mom. If my mom was still alive, she would be watching that movie with me. Whether, I don't think I'd be in Texas if my mom was alive. I don't. I would still be there. I wouldn't have left her. Oh, okay. Movie Marathon Club. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me write that one because we're going to come up with a name, y'all. So we're going to see. Everybody just think of what you want to do. And then we'll vote on what we want. So just think and come back Saturday and we're going to talk about the name of the group too. Yeah, so the movie was called The Shack. It is on Netflix for free. It's on, and we'll make sure you call and see, then get Netflix. They'll give you your code. Say, do I have what is this thing called? Netflix. Say, do I have net? When you call T-Mobile, say, can you look at my account and see if I qualify for the Netflix for free? And if you have any kind of magenta plan, you qualify. Oh, get out of here, Annette. All right. Go on now. Granddaughter doing big things. Don't that make you feel good though when your granddaughter is doing something really good and it just makes your heart sing? Oh, you can watch, but do you have to pay for it, Marge? Is it a $3.99 on YouTube? Netflix, somebody's saying it's free. Apple TV, and wait, Hulu. I got Hulu. It's on Hulu. And now you're saying YouTube. And I'm not sure if it's on Netflix. Let me look. Let me see if it's on Netflix. I'm just going to go to Netflix. I can't find it on. I think I took it off my phone. I think I did to make room. See, I have Apple TV on here. Yeah, right here. It's all free through whatchamacallit right now. You can stream Hulu on there. So I could watch it on my phone, but I like to put it on or and screen mirror it. But I'm glad it's on Hulu. I don't see it on that Netflix is offering it. When I look at this, when I ask where can you watch it? But check your Netflix if you have it. Hulu. It is also possible to buy Swan Song on Apple. Oh, you could buy it on Apple TV and Google Play. Okay. Yes, indeed. It sure was, Pat. It really was. It was a good one. You hear me? Good night, Caroline. Carolyn. I'm calling you Caroline. That was a good movie. That was a good one. Yes, wouldn't that be nice to have the live on and have the TV going and we all of us watch it? Oh, I'm gonna get it together. I'm really gonna get in the stream yard now, y'all. I've been trying to do this. Sugar Honey's like, what is wrong with you? Get your life in order. I'm gonna get stream. What's it called? StreamYard or whatever. I'm gonna get that together because we could screen mirror the movie and all of us watching it together. We could do that. Yes. But no, that was a different place. Remember, they walked past it, Tarsha. They walked past it. Remember when Jesus came and he was carrying the wood and said, "Come on with me. I can heat the place up." It was they walked past the shack and um into like a spring-like setting. Because remember, it was snowing. And then they walked into the spring-like setting, and then you had to walk in and walk up the way, and it was a big house. So it went past it. And that place was actually his childhood home. The place that God was at was his childhood home. Yes, yes, indeed. Well, that's a good idea, Stacy. The war room. Okay, I'm gonna write that down here too. That's another one. Okay, we got now. Right now, this week coming, we're going to be doing Swan Song, and then after that, everybody, if you find something that's just interesting, we'll talk. Add it on. Okay, let me see. Wow, get out of here, Annette. That's something though. I mean, you just never know. Like I told my daughter, don't be saying no because you could still have a baby. Because she's like, absolutely not. No. She's like, no, I'm not having no more. Yeah, I know, but go back and watch it again because I'm telling you, the second time, open my eyes. You'll see they go past it when they go into, and the place is actually his childhood home because he says, "Why would you bring me here?" When he's standing there next to the plates on by the windowsill, the plate rack, he says, "Why would you bring me here?" And she said, "Because this is where it all started, baby. This is where your pain started, and I had to bring you back here to fix it." You'll see that's his childhood home. But remember, in the pictures where he was being beat, it was a lot of it was being shown in black and white. So when he gets to the place, everything is in beautiful color because it's in heaven. Okay, we got to. I'm gonna watch War Room. So we got the War Room on the list, and we got I Am Gabriel next to come up. So one or the other. We're gonna check that out. Yeah. So with that way, and again, it's not nothing wrong with watching these movies once or twice. Because always you're going to get when there are deep movies like this, you're going to pick up. Like I said, I didn't realize where they went. That it was his childhood home until I actually went back to watch it. And when Jesus went walking past him, they were right outside the shack. And remember, he went up and around the shack and he walked the back of it. And then all of a sudden he was in spring. And Mac was still in standing back a little bit. He was still in winter with the snow. And he was like, huh? He just I guess it felt comforting to him because he went and followed. Because he was like, I got some wood to make it warm, to warm things up. And when you get into where it is, you're like, what you warming up? It's warm here. It's beautiful. Look at the flowers. Look at the green, the greenery, the beautiful. Everything was beautiful. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, child. Yes. I did not get that though until the second time. That's why I say go back and check it out. Wow. Get out of here, Jennifer. Oh, wow. See, but look at look at what comes out of it. Look at what comes out of it. The shack was very small. Did y'all notice that? The shack was very small. Um, and it must have what I took out of it was I think that at first I thought in the first time I watched it, I thought that maybe that was a place that his family or somebody would go to, annually or for a trip or something. But the second time I realized that's where the shack had no other meaning to him than the daughter's dress. Missy's dress was found in the shack. That's where her death took place. You see where, and he was in there throwing stuff saying you couldn't even leave her body for me to bury it. If you kept seeing the flashback, everything was in black and white, but the dress was in red on the ground. So, and then there was that print of the blood. Remember that you seen again on the cave and inside the cave? But that shack had no other meaning to him except for that's where she was killed at. That's where she was found at. I mean, her dress was found at. But again, I didn't get that till the second time I watched it. So when you notice, when Jesus walks around the shack and gets him past that, her dress was there. He had no connection to that. The connection he had was to his childhood home, and that's where they take him to fix it. The shack was just a small little box. It had no extra rooms. It was like a little kitchen area. All the furniture was gone. It was broken and dilapidated, but it was probably a little thing where somebody went there and spent, camped there or something periodically. Yup, and that was the only. Yes, wouldn't that be nice? I'm gonna learn how to do that. I promise you that. Sugar honey, let's get on it. Because she figures out everything for me, y'all. Yes. Past that shack. Yes, to get past it. You're right. There's another metaphor. You see that? See, he was taking him past that in his life. Because they had to walk around it to get to his childhood home. Because remember, he came down this thing, he had the wood on his shoulder. And even with the gun in his hand or whatever, he was like, come on. And he turned his back to him and said, I got some wood. We're going to warm it up. And it kept on going because he was still in the winter, cold, right? So because, again, I did not get that he didn't die in that car accident. I mean, have the accident. Not that he died. He didn't die. He was in critical condition in the hospital for 4 or 5 days. The whole time this is going on over in heaven, he was in the hospital. So he wasn't there physically. He was there in spirit. His spirit walked this walk to cleanse him. So when he got back, he was like, no, you couldn't. I was with God. He's like, I was with Papa. No, I wasn't here. He was like, no, you've been here since Thursday, since you stole my truck and totaled it. Right? But exactly. There you go, sugar honey. Say that one again. Yep. He took him right past it and cleared it up. Yes, indeed. The mind. Yes. So that shack was something that he needed to get past that to clear himself up. And that's it. That other than that, it had, because the first time, had we been talking and I only watched that movie once, I would have been like, yeah, that was probably a place where he used to vacation. His parents used to take him there for camp every summer or something. But it wasn't until, like I said, you go back and look and you're like, the whole shack is gray and in black and white look. And then all of a sudden the dress is red laying there on the ground with that same print that's on the cave. No, she was killed there. Yes. 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 That's what I was saying, Stacy. Now he was turning the gun and all of a sudden the deer startled him. A beautiful, harmless deer. Just look right at him. Now, who was that? God being I am. Right? So he stood there. He looked at him. They made eye contact. And his mind snapped and was like, okay, no. He got up. He stumbled out of the shack, back over to and he hid behind the trees because he heard somebody coming. And that's when Jesus was walking. He still had the gun in his hand the whole time. When he got back to the house where God was, she said, come on, let me take your coat. She said, she called him by his full name, first, middle, and last. She was like, I'm so happy to see you. And she said, let me take your coat and give me that gun because we don't want nobody getting hurt here. Right? I just was like, he still had the gun in his hand. And Jesus was like, baby, you can't kill me. If you shoot me, we're going to be all right because that's your decision. But follow me because I got the answer for you. You know what I mean? Basically, that was what I got out of that. So, and he did. The comfort level was so there. And I believe half of the comfort level was knowing that was his childhood home. Because you notice how startled he was when he saw the house, when they showed it to us with all the beautiful flowers around, and he saw the house, he was like, right? And then he just went walking and went in there. Freely just went in there because it was familiar to him, just like the woman in the neighborhood was familiar to him. God made it all familiar so he could be comfortable enough to stay and deal with what he had to deal with. I want to know how it is to cross over. I'm not ready for God to call me. No, I'm not. Lord, that ain't real. This ain't real. I need some wood. Sugar honey, be quiet. She gonna say, you don't need no wood. You got God. But anyway, God, I'm metaphorically knocking on wood right now. You expect, oh, did you? I thought at one they did. She did come, but he could not connect with her. Now, another thing is that took me out. She knew he was there. He knew she was there, but he couldn't walk through that. I call it a veil, screen, mesh, whatever you want to call it, of separation. He couldn't go through there and she couldn't come through. But she knew he was there. She was waving. She blew him the kiss that she always remembers. She blew him the kiss. So they knew they were there, but they couldn't touch each other. But he had the ability. At the end, they gave him, again, a choice, y'all. A choice. You can either go with your daughter, go with Missy. She would love to see you right now. She's excited. However, there's no timeline there. And just like you going right now would be just like you going 30, 40 years from now. She's going to be there waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no big thing. However, you got these other two kids with issues and a wife that loves you. What you want to do? And he said, I'm going home because, whatever you do, they said it's important. You're important. You wouldn't be there if you weren't important. So everybody on here, you would not be here if you weren't important in this world for some reason. You would not be here. He said that it clearly. I got that. And I was like, wow, that hit me hard. You would not be here if you did not have something to offer this world. Right? So, right, exactly. So then when he went back, he made the choice to go back. He could have went right through that veil and went on with her at that time, at that moment. But he didn't. And their promise, again, was the promise that we know and love, is that we're always here. Always was, always will be. You know what I mean? And we ain't going nowhere. Yes. And she ran right up. And then Jesus came. Wait. Now remember, Jesus had just dropped him off, right? At the place and told him, I ain't going with you. This is a walk you got to take alone. So now Jesus winds up in the playground of the field of daisies, right? With little Missy and her friends. And they playing and they got adult supervision. I just say, look at this. And then when he realizes she's getting a little close, he runs at Missy and he grabs her and he lets her say bye and blow the kiss. And then he turns her and makes her run to go play with everybody else. I thought now that was something to me. Yes, definitely. I swear, I was hoping it was. But I think the next thing we'll talk about this maybe in a month or two when everybody gets a chance to read the book. If everybody, like I said, next week we're going to do this movie. And then how about if everybody gets a chance to read the book and we come back with more information on this? But definitely watch it again because you're going to pick up things just like I did that I didn't see in the first time I watched it. Yes. Yeah. So that was good. And the fact that he had the sense about him. See, remember, by this time he had his seat of his soul. I call it that, y'all. It could be anything you want. Heart, whatever you want to call it. Even though I do believe the seat of the soul is in the brain, but I believe it's the heart-brain connection. So I do say this, but I believe it's here. But anyway, I think that he had already freed himself from all the hate. He already went through the forgiveness. He had already came back and buried Missy when he made that final decision. It was his day to either go back home or stay and just go ahead and pass away. And by then, after everything he learned and he realized that, you're right, I do have more here. I have these kids. I have a responsibility. She's good. I saw her. Because remember, that's the first thing he said to the wife. I saw her. She's okay. She's fine. She's happy. It's the first thing he said when he was able to talk to the wife. He said, I saw, and then he goes on. They don't show him having the conversation with his wife. I'm hoping that's in the book because I want to hear what he said to the wife, because when it was all over and the kids were laying, the two older teenagers, they were laying on the bed with him and the wife was sitting on the chair. And he was still in the hospital. And he looked over at his wife and she looked at him and said, I believe you. And he said, and he closed his eyes to go back to sleep. Yup. Yeah, go back and I'm telling you, really pay attention because again, it starts so slow. And so many times I said, "This is stupid. I'm clicking it off," but I didn't. For some reason, I hung in there the first time, so I got the gist of it. But I knew I needed to go back and actually watch it so I could try to really focus on every point. All right, let me catch up. And that, yeah, now you know I can get lost up in it, right? Touched by it. I know that was another one of my favorite shows. Oh, it was another one. I actually watched it. They got a newer version out now, and they don't have Della Reese in it. It was good. I actually caught it one night, like on one of the older channels, but it's a newer show, and it's just like that. Yeah, let me see. Did I miss anything else? So yeah, I really hope that it is the book has something else in it. And somebody actually online asked, "Is there going to be a part two to this?" And they said no, they don't think so because they got to the end of it where the meaning was just obvious to people. However, I think that the part two could be what he did after he got that information, where his life took him after that, and how it affected his children and his wife and his marriage. You know what I mean? I think that could be a part two, or at least something based off of that. You know what I mean? I would love to. Ooh, let's do that, y'all. Let's write it. Because me, I'll create. Look, it was this thing right here. My daughter laughed at me because I do this all the time, y'all. Y'all think I'm playing. This picture I sent to my daughter. She was driving home from somewhere, and I saw this on Instagram. So look at this. Can y'all see that? Wait, let me try to get y'all to focus. This, you see this? These are six women dressed in bright colors, wild, very creative looking to me, right? And yes, it was Jill Scott in there. You're right. Yes, I saw that. Okay, yep, I saw it. I watched one. I said I'm gonna go back and see what it was about. But yeah, the daughter, the son, because the son, remember, had started acting out. The wife couldn't possibly mourn because she was fixing everybody else. She didn't. But again, what I got out of it when he said something about his wife, because remember, he said the wife called him Papa. I believe the wife knew God, so her heart was eased with it. Although she missed her daughter, she knew her calling was to be the support system for her family. Because remember when she even said to her son, when she was going to take the daughter to therapy, she said, "Listen, don't lose focus from us loving each other. You know what I mean? We love each other. Don't lose that. We can't lose you." You know what I mean? And she said to him, she kind of whispered it, although I'm sure the kids heard it. They were in the car. But what she said to him was the whole, "Look, I'm dealing with this too, but we got to deal with it in a sensible way here, buddy. I don't know what you're going through." So, but anyway, I showed my daughter this picture, right? And so by the time my daughter she was still driving, right? It's sure, I would love to see it all. But wait, by the time my daughter's driving, I had made up 3 different stories about these 6 women. The first one was they was college students, and they all went to a good school, and they were, just doing good for each other, and they were hanging out. The second one was they was on vacation in New York, because here's a cab, and then they're at the New York hotel right there. And then the third story I came up with is they were college students who stayed in contact with each other. And now they're grown and they have their jobs, but they got together for a weekend in New York and they were living their lives, and they decided, they touched base and said, "Girl, dress." They are creatives. So they have these things in common that they will never lose touch with each other. And, they're lifelong friends now because of the connection they have, and they all have the same things in common. How many times have you had this best friend that you thought nothing could ever separate you from this best friend, right? And you have this best friend, and then things change in your life. You get divorced, or you retire, or you find church and you join church and you're really into church and they're not, or you move to a different area and you take a job and your time is gone, and this friendship kind of sizzles. But you still know that you can call this person and they can call you, but it ain't what it used to be. But as long as you have the same things in common, the connection is there. The moment you change your likes and your desires and your creativity to a different it falls apart again. The magnet ain't there, the law of attraction ain't there, the manifestation of that friendship isn't there the way it used to be. It doesn't mean you don't know them no more, or they died, or you'll never speak to them again, or I don't like her. No, it's just you kind of your time. You notice y'all don't talk as much, right? Yes. So I had this whole story going for my daughter. She was driving. She was like, Mom, do you realize you just told me a good 45-minute story and you don't know them people? I said, she said, Mom, you always did this when we were younger too. You always did that. I had a whole story. I wrote a whole story on these people. I was ready to look for the movie. I was ready. By the time I finished telling her that, I was like, this got to be a good movie. I'm looking up college roommates and all this kind of stuff because I was like, oh, that got to be a good movie. I had their whole lives. The one with the blonde hair and the zebra boots, she was a lawyer. I mean, a realtor. I had her as a realtor. Yep. Yep. Yes, indeed. I swear I had the one with the short blonde hair and the zebra boots. She was a realtor. One was a lawyer. I had them all. I had the whole story going. Okay. All right, Stacy. Thanks so much for popping up. We'll see you on the 8th or before. You know me, I'll pop on. But so anyway, y'all, the next movie is called Swan Song. It's on Hulu, Apple TV, and YouTube. You can look and find it. Somebody said it's on YouTube. I didn't see it on there, but somebody was saying it was on there. But Hulu and Apple TV. Try Netflix too, because I didn't really look it up good. It might be on there. But anyway, between watching that movie, Swan Song, this week, I am definitely going to, and we got extra time because this is Thursday. So you got till not this Saturday, the following Saturday to come up with, you know what I mean, watching that movie. But I'm also going to get that Audible and listen to that. And Marge said it's on YouTube for free. I'm going to go get it. Even if it's like $3, I don't care. I'll get it. I'll listen to it. $3-4. I'm going to get it and listen to it because I like walking and hearing. Okay, Happy New Year, everybody. I'll probably upload a video tomorrow, but I probably won't be live because it's New Year's Eve. Saturday, we'll see how the day goes. Because again, I have to remember, we got some people who stand in just like I am. So even if it's a short little few people, only 20 people hop on with us or 15 people, we still might pop on New Year's Eve. 7:30 still. I don't know about bringing in the new year for everybody, but we'll just hop on. And if y'all got some time, pop on Saturday and we'll see. Just a chit chat. Okay, y'all. I'm going to see you. Have a wonderful new year. Yes, blessed and prosperous, y'all. Let's do that. Let's manifest that. And I will chit chat with you guys later. Thank you so much for joining me. I enjoyed this. I anticipate this movie club / book club really doing something good for us 2022. I really do. I think hearing so much from everybody in your own perspectives and then me, able to tell y'all how I felt about it. Everybody's learning from everybody on here. And I really like that. I like that a lot. And I think we're going to do good with that. Happy New Year, y'all. All right, I'm going to chit chat with y'all. I'm hanging up on y'all. I'm going to go on here and finish my other half of dinner. And I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks a lot, guys. And welcome anybody who is new that hid in the bushes. Watch the movie and come out the bushes next week and chit chat with us. Okay? All right, y'all. Good night. Will, you got to watch this movie and Swan Song so you can be ready for next week. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.